Hello Year 3 and happy World Book Day, one of my favourite days of the year, almost as exciting as Christmas, but not quite. Hopefully you have joined in with the dressing up as your favourite book character, or you can join in through Seesaw by taking a photo of yourself and annotating yourself to try and look like your favourite book character. So really looking forward to seeing any of those pictures on Seesaw today. So a couple of things that I would like to say just before we start today's lesson is that part of World Book Day is that you get given a £1 book token, and this can be taken to a bookshop or a shop that sells books and exchanged for a book. There are some books that go on offer that just cost £1 that you can just exchange your book token for and you get given the book, or there are books that are slightly more expensive and then you can get £1 off of those books using your book token. This year they've gone for digital book tokens, so usually they would send them to us and we would give them out to you in school and you would actually get given a book token. This year they've sent out one that has been emailed out to everybody. So your parents will have received an email last week with your digital book token attached to it. So if you've got a printer at home, you can print it off at home. If you haven't got a printer at home, then there are lots of bookshops who are accepting the token just being shown on a phone screen. So when you go shopping with your parents, they can get the token up on their phone screen and show it. There are some shops that are not accepting that though, so you do need to get your parents to ring them up or have a look on their website and check before you go, because if you need a printed token and you don't have a printer, we will print some and have them at the school office. And I think you can use the book tokens up until the 18th of March. So yeah, it's exciting. Take your book tokens, go and get yourself a new book to help celebrate World Book Day. Here on the screen are some of the books that are available for £1, so they would be free basically. You would just take your token and exchange it for the book. And if you go to this website here, worldbookday.com/books, you will see lots more books in there, and you can actually have a look inside some of the books to see what they're like. The other thing I just wanted to say is that there is a live World Book Day event today at 10:30 on their website. This is the link to get to it. I will put this link in the video description, and they say that it will last for about half an hour. So I think they're going to have authors on there that they're going to talk to, and should be really interesting and exciting. So if you can, log on to that and have a little look at what that is all about. So today, as it is World Book Day, we are going to do a lesson that is linked to our class reader that we've been reading this term, which is called The Boy Who Grew Dragons, and it's written by an author called Andy Shepherd. And Andy Shepherd, there she is, she has created a booklet of activities for school children to do, all based around her book, The Boy Who Grew Dragons. So I have had a look through that and I've taken some examples that I think you will enjoy for you to do today in today's lesson. So activity number 1 is an art and design activity. So I chose this because I thought that you might enjoy it. There are 5 questions that I would like you to answer into your book. So what I'm going to read through all 5 questions, and I'll talk a little bit about them so you know what to do. And then once I've done that, it will be time for you to pause the video and actually have a go at answering all of the 5 questions and doing the art activity, which is question 5. So question 1 says, what are your first thoughts when you look at the front cover of the book? So because this activity is all about the front cover of the book, so you may need to go back on the video to this slide here and actually have a look at the front cover of the book, because the first question asks you what your thoughts are when you look at the front cover. So that's question number 1. Question number 2, what do you think might be the consequences of growing dragons? So consequences means something that happens as a result of something else. So what do you think might happen as a result of growing dragons? What might happen if you were to grow some dragons? Question 3 is to describe Thomas and Flicker. So to think about the 2 main characters in the story, who are Thomas, who is the boy in the story, and Flicker, who is the dragon in the story. I would like you to answer that question by writing some sentences about each of their characters, what they are like, and also going back to the front cover of the story and thinking about what do the illustrations, what do the pictures on the front cover show you about their relationship and the way that they interact with each other throughout the story. Question 4 is for you to answer, what would you most like to grow in your back garden and why? And it can be anything. Think wild, wacky, things that aren't even possible, like growing dragons. And then question 5 is then for you to design a front cover for your own book. So imagine that you were writing your own book of the boy who grew or the girl who grew. What would you grow? And design your own front cover based around that. So I would like you to pause the video here, have a go at those 5 mini activities to do with the story, and be creative, and off you go. Okay, I'm really looking forward, particularly to 4 and 5. Looking forward to seeing what you chose you would grow in your back garden, and also looking forward to seeing your front covers for your very own book in the style of The Boy Who Grew Dragons. Okay, now this says activity 4, just ignore that. It was activity 4 in the booklet, but that's because I chose not to do activity 2 or 3. So we've gone straight to activity 4, which is a chance for you to do a bit of creative writing and also to do a bit of drawing as well and be a bit creative. So activity 4 is about growing your own dragon. So it says, Flicker isn't the only dragon to grow on the tree, and Thomas and his friends soon discover that all dragons are different. But they also find that the fruit seems to drop into the hand of the person most suited to look after them. They share a connection. So this writing here is actually the author of the story who is writing about her own book, so it's good. So this activity is for you to think about, what would your dragon be like? If you could grow your very own dragon, you're going to think about what it would be like, and you're going to write a description of your dragon. So, but thinking about not just what they look like, but their personality as well. That's really important, okay? So it is about what they look like, but also make sure that you think about what kind of dragon would they be. Remember thinking about what the author said about how the dragon fruit seems to fall to the person who is most suited to look after that dragon that's inside. So if you were going to have a dragon, how would you and your dragon be suited to one another? What kind of connections would you have? What things would you have in common? Would they have a similar personality to you? Think about all of those kinds of things. And here there are some bullet points and suggestions from the author to help you with this activity. So remember, it's important to know as much as possible about your dragon so you can look after them properly. Be sure to include lots of detail to show what makes your dragon unique. So I would like you to pause the video now and think about drawing a picture of what your dragon would look like, because that will help you to write the description of it. So pause the video here, draw your picture of your very own dragon that you've grown and what it looks like into your book. You can colour it in if you've got colours to use. So off you go, do that now. Okay, so now that you've drawn your picture, your dragon, you can visualize what your dragon looks like. Underneath or next to, you're going to write your description of your dragon. So you're going to write in sentences to describe what your dragon looks like and what its personality is like as well. So here are some bullet points and things to help you. So maybe it has 6 tails, each with a different tip, or maybe it's got no tail at all. Maybe it has wings like a dragonfly, or wings that roll up or are super stretchy. Does it have horns or spikes? Is it all one colour or multicoloured? Does it breathe fire or ice or something else? Does it have any special powers? And if so, what are they? What kind of place does it come from? Does this affect what it looks like and how it behaves? What does it like to eat? Are there particular things that it likes or doesn't like, or maybe it's frightened of? And what is it called, or what are you going to call your dragon? And the author has actually written here, which is really interesting. I'll just read this bit here that they've written. So she said, sometimes I like to make up words or put 2 words together to describe something. One of my favourite picture books is called Sylvia and Bird by Catherine Rayner. And yes, you guessed it, it's a story about a dragon. So this author clearly loves dragons. In it, Catherine describes Sylvia the dragon as shimmer shiny. So she put 2 words together to make a new word to describe the dragon. And the author has said, if I was making up a word to describe flicker, I think I might use glitter bright or spark bright. And she set you a challenge here at the bottom to say, can you make up a new word to describe your dragon? So I would like you to pause the video here, write your description of your dragon, see if you can come up with a new word to describe your dragon as well. Off you go. Okay. Last little bit of that activity then is, what do you think it might be like to live with a dragon? Not just any dragon, but your dragon that you've just drawn and written about. So what problems do you think your dragon might cause? And what excitement and fun do you think your dragon would bring to your day? So I'd like you to pause the video here and have a go at answering both of those questions now. Off you go. Okay, so those are the 2 activities that I chose from the author of the story, Andi Shepherd. She also included some information about further books that you might want to read if you really enjoyed The Boy Who Grew Dragons. More books about dragons. She has said, I love dragons and I love books about dragons. Here are some of my favourites. Why not find and read a few of these? Do you have a favourite? Maybe you could write a book review to encourage other people to read it. So there is a list there if you want to have a look in your own time with your adults at home, if there are any that you like the sound of that you would like to have a read of as well. And I've also put this diagram here in the bottom, which is the actual series of The Boy Who Grew Dragons. So there's not just one book, there's actually 5 in total. And we may well read the rest of them as well throughout this year. We will see. But I just thought I would highlight that to you if you're enjoying that book, that there are actually more in the series. Okay, and finally, our final activity for our English lesson on World Book Day is we would like to know more about the books that you really love. So we would love to know what your favourite ever book is, and we would like you to create a book review for that book. The book review template for you to use is attached to the lesson on Seesaw. So you can go back on Seesaw and find that there and complete it. And we are really excited to find out more about the books that you love and your love of reading. So I would like you to stop the video here and go and complete your book review over on Seesaw, and we really look forward to seeing them. Well done, everyone.